everybody, thanks for joining me once again here at Lisa Horton Crafts. Let's make a start because we're doing 3 cards today. So the very basis of all 3 cards are these 2 sets. The fantastic nested stitched bubble squares, which will be back in stock very soon. And of course the fantastic brand new nested pocket builder. These 2 form the basis of all 3 cards. The first card we're going to do is a Christmas one, obviously because of Lisa's Christmas release on TV. Not that she needs any help selling it, because I think the majority of it has already gone. There isn't much left, I don't think. But I'm using the Festive Foliage, the layering stencils, flowers and berries, along with the embossing folder and the dies that come with that. So the dies are in the pack as well. And I just think this set is so fabulous. It's got so many uses. And then I'm using some dewdrops as well. So as I said, I've already done all my sort of prep in advance, so that I'm not taking up too much time with doing all the bits and bobs. So my first layer is the largest nested square, the bubble square. This is an 8x8 card, and the largest stitch bubble fits this absolutely perfectly. White on white for my background, and then I have to be honest, I took inspiration from our lovely Mary Thompson for this, because I just loved what she did with her die set. I've used the Festive Tatty Words, and as I say, I've used the Festive Foliage, these 2, and then these 4 elements come from the Holly and the Berries set. Now I wasn't going to emboss these, but then I thought, actually, if I emboss these, it makes them look a little bit different to these. It just gives it another element, really. So that's why I decided to emboss them after all. And they're dead easy. I die cut all mine and put them in the folder separately. The pockets you can use with any die set, to be honest. It'll work with anything. So yeah, large foliage would work equally as well. And obviously the pocket doesn't need to be red, does it? I mean, I've cut one of the pockets, and then I've just used this edge here. But I've cut 2 of those, so I've done one in red and one in white, so that it just makes that stand out. And I've lined it up along the stitching. I do love that stitching details, because it just gives you something to line up your top layer with. I think that's really clever. So there's my pocket, and I'm just going to place these before I glue them, just to make sure that I'm happy with where everything is, because I can layer them up afterwards. So you see the bottom 2 are going to be flat. In fact, that one might be flat as well, as will that one. And because you can't see behind the flowers, it doesn't matter that these stems are smaller, because you can't see the end of it anyway. And then this little one here is just going on top of the pocket like that. Okay, so if I just put some pads on here, so we're putting all these flat, so I'll just use my fabulous Lisa Horton glue and just stick these down. So I'll just pop this down here behind my pocket, so that it doesn't interfere with my sentiment, because the sentiment's just going across the top. I did think about splitting the word, but once I'd laid everything down and realised that I could actually fit the whole thing on in one go, I decided to leave it in one piece. But of course you don't have to, you can split it if you want to, it's not a problem. Okay, so that's going down the bottom, and I want everything to just sit inside those bubbles. I don't want anything outside the bubble square. Okay, so then I'm going to put this one down, because I want all the others to sit behind it. So I want to put this one down first to make sure that everything is going to be in the right place. So let's pop that there like so, and then we can put all the others and slot it in behind. And they're so quick to put together. Once you've done all your stenciling and your die cutting, they're just so quick and easy to put together. I just love them. I think they're great. Such a clever idea to give you all the elements to make a card of your own, and change it up, change the colours. They don't have to be poinsettias, do they? They could be anything, to be honest. Just depends what colours you use. So just pop that on there. And we'll just have to hold those down because obviously I've embossed these. So because I've embossed them, there's like a cup on the inside, isn't there, where they're debossed. So they're going to take a little while just to stick down, but doesn't take very long. And you might be able to see a bit of a shine on the pocket. I inked them up in I think I used candied apple and festive berries, and then I didn't like the red, so I went over it in barn door, and then I thought actually it just looks a little bit flat. So what I did was I used one of Lisa's Sprinkler Twinkle pens. I used the red. I know it looks pink, but it isn't, it's red, and just went over the top, so they've got a little bit of sparkle to the pocket as well. You can see it in real life. It probably doesn't show up on the card, but they are beautiful pens, and they just add another element to your card making, so they'll look really pretty. Okay, so just add the sentiment down across the top, and then just add a few dewdrops wherever you fancy, really. So because this side is a little bit bare, shall we say, then I'm going to put these over there. Okay, so I'm only adding a few just to lift it a little bit, really. But once you've cut all your elements, how quick and easy was that, and how effective does it look? I just think it's one of the cleverest die sets, these pockets, that Lisa's ever come out with. I think they're fabulous. So that's the first one. Second one, I thought we'd do a man's card, okay? Because everybody always says, Lisa, bring some stuff out so you can make male cards. There's lots of stuff in Lisa's repertoire to make male cards with. I know I say this on a regular basis, but really there is. So I've used the large stitched alphabet dies. They are big dies, and sometimes they're a little bit big, so you've always got the option of using the skinny alphabets if you haven't got these. If you've got both, then you can just decide which set fits your card best. Okay, so I've used those. I've also used the Essential Hessian, but I've used that to make a stencil. It's the deck plate, but I always think this deck plate 3D embossing folder is perfect for male cards. It just gives that more masculine background, in my opinion. And then I've used the foiled and plain sentiment stickers, because as I've said before, these are just so versatile. They're a must-have in your craft stash. 1080 stickers. I mean, what's not to like? They're so fabulous. Okay, so this is a smaller card. This is 7 by 7. You could make it on a bigger card if you wanted to, but I didn't particularly want to. So this is my base. Again, I've used the nested and stitched bubble squares for both of these, and I've embossed this. The colours that I've used in the background here are Speckled Egg, Stormy Sky, and the new Uncharted Mariner from Ranger from Tim Holtz. Fabulous colour this is, and I've just brushed them on randomly before I've embossed that card. But because the back of the card looks a little bit plain, I cut this out this morning, this Essential Hessian, and what I thought I would do is just a little bit of stenciling in the background. Not much, only a very tiny bit, just to give it a little bit of interest in the background. I haven't really gone very heavy with that at all, to be honest. See, so just the very tiniest bit of stenciling, and I've cut this in a dark card so that you can't see the ink. You could use it on another card afterwards if you wanted to, because nobody's going to know that you've inked over it. I'm not going to do any more. Just wanted to give it a little bit of interest in the background, really. So that's my background. Then I've again put my 3D pads on the back of here. You'll notice on my deck plate piece it looks a little bit up and down, and that's because I used a bit too thin a card, and when I embossed it and then stuck the pads on the back, it sort of rippled a little bit. But you know, I don't really think it's going to make too much difference. Now I'm putting this slightly to the left because I want to put my word down here. So I've gone slightly to the left on that. Can you see what I mean? It looks a little bit, hopefully it won't look as bad when it's down. But again, I've 3D'd the back of this. Hi Jackie. Hi Laura. Hi Tony. Nice to see so many of you here again. Thank you very much. Okay. So then I'm just going to pop this down on here. See, it has sort of evened out a little bit, so I'm not too worried about that. And then again, I've cut my pockets and I've used the small flap die out of the set, and I've also added one of the buttons. Now the thing I liked about this little set was not only do you get the pockets and the flaps, you get the stitching detail, this little bow thing here, and you also get straight line stitching detail, but you get a button, a heart, and these two little dotty things here, which are like little studs, you know, like you get in jeans. So you get on jeans pockets, you get those little studs. They're perfect for that. Imagine those cut out in silver mirror card or glitter card. They'll look amazing. I just think it's a fabulous die set. Awesome die set, Lisa, well done. Okay, so I've 3D'd my pocket. I've also slightly raised the flap. They're only very thin 3D pads, but just to really give it a little bit of dimension so that it's not totally flat. Okay, so I'm going to pop that down there. And then I've used, again, the sentiments, the foiled and plain sentiments set, this set. And I've used the black on white, and then I've matted and layered it onto 2 coloured cards to match the rest of my card, alright? And I'm just going to pop that in there like that, so that it looks like it's sticking out of the pocket. Okay, just to be a little bit different really, rather than just keep it straight. So that's sticking out of the pocket like that. And then, as I say, I've used the large stitched alphabet and cut out my letters. And again, I've used the same coloured card within this for my letters. So I've cut them twice, and as you can see, I don't know if I lift that up whether you can actually see that, but I've lined it up alongside the stitching on the back letter. So I've given it a drop shadow, but I know I've lined it up evenly because I've used the stitching on the back one to line the top one up with. Okay, so I've lined these up so that they are going to be central to that card. So I'm going to have the same distance between the bottom of this and the bottom of my letter as I am with the top of this and the top letter, just so that it looks even. And then again with the A, just put that little drop shadow using the same colours that you've used on your card. So last letter, make sure it's in the middle and lined up with the other two, just so that it looks even. Okay, So there's your second card, but totally different to the first card. So you've got two totally different ones. That's a male, female, family, friend, whatever. That's definitely male. So the last one that I wanted to do, the things that I've used here are the washi, the cute washi characters and die set. These are just so adorable. So that's the basis of my card, other than the pockets obviously. And then for this card I've used the skinny alphabet, and then I've used the very famous, very popular padded quilt. Here's my base card. I've already stuck my bubble square on the back just to save a little bit of time, and I've used a really pale lilac on here. Okay, now I've already stuck my letters down on my square card. I really wanted to just show you was how many different uses you're going to get out of these, and this is only 3 out of these pocket dies. This is only 3 ideas. There are hundreds out there. Okay, so I know this is the right way up because I've got my words at the bottom. Okay, now I have brushed Kitsch Flamingo all the way around the edge of this square, just to tie all the colours in. And again, I inked up a piece of card with 3 different colours. I used Kitsch Flamingo, Cracked Pistachio and Shaded Lilac, and then cut my letters out. If I show you the larger stitch letters, you probably see the colours better. But I used the same piece of card because the skinny alphabet is exactly what it says, skinny. Then I still got room to cut those out of the same piece of card. But you can see the colours better on the bigger letters. Yeah, but I've used exactly the same piece of card, so I'll use these on another card at a later date. So then I cut my pocket, and I've used the fancy edging, this one here, because it's got a really lovely scalloped edge, and I love the stitching on here. So that's the pocket flap that I've used on there. I've used the foiled sentiments just to put on the pocket. Okay, I've raised this up a little bit with pads, and then after I'd done the same colours on a piece of card, I die cut the pocket and then popped it through the padded quilt embossing folder to give me that effect, and I just think that is just beautiful. So let's pop the pocket down. This is going down here, and it's going towards the middle of that baby and that girl. Okay, now when I stuck these down, I started at this end with baby and tried to keep them level with the stitching, but when I did the girl, I went backwards, so that I've lined the last letter up first and then lined the others up going the other way, so that you get your spacing right. Okay, right, so the final element that I wanted to add to this card was my cute animals, and I've used the little elephant because it's my favourite. Out of all the little cute animals in this set, this elephant is my favourite. I've also die cut one of the balloons, and you'll see here that I've actually made a cut in this animal under his trunk, and in the sort of the bend of his trunk where he's holding this balloon, and I've threaded it through, okay, so that it actually looks as though he's holding the balloon inside his trunk. Just something simple, just to give it an extra bit of an effect. And then again, I've 3D'd this, and I'm just going to pop this down on the pocket. So I measured it yesterday so that the balloon doesn't sit anywhere near the flap or sort of over the flap, it just sits underneath that flap. So there's my third card. So totally different again, but using the same die set. And I just think when you've got something that versatile, you know, why wouldn't you buy it? When you look at everything that Lisa's always bought out, and everything she continues to bring out, you know that it's all going to work together. So, you know, it's not going to be a one-trick pony. You're not going to use the die set and then put it away and never use it again. It just doesn't work like that with Lisa's products. So you'll always be able to use everything with everything. Okay, so I will love you and leave you there. I hope you found that useful. So thanks very much for joining me once again. It's lovely to see so many of you here every time. Bye for now, everybody.